For, gosh, almost 2 decades now, Formula One qualifying has been an absolute masterclass in drama. We all know the rhythm of it, right? That classic knockout format. And you've got the frantic final laps, the clock ticking down to zero, and that dreaded drop zone. But as we look ahead to 2026, the entire rulebook for Saturday afternoon is getting a rewrite, and it brings up a huge question.
And that's really the big question on everyone's mind. Is it about to get even more brutal? Because it sure looks like the pressure is about to be cranked way, way up. That mathematical safety net that drivers have kind of relied on for years, well, it's about to get a whole lot smaller. This explainer is all about this massive shakeup.
So let's just dive right into the heart of it. This change is all about rewriting the fundamental math of the drop zone. You know, how many drivers get eliminated in those first 2 crucial sessions of qualifying.
Okay, so what's really fascinating here is just how simple this change looks on paper, but how absolutely massive its impact is going to be. On the left, that's the format we all know. 5 drivers are out in Q1, another 5 get knocked out in Q2, and that leaves the top 10 to fight it out for pole. But in 2026, that number changes. 6 drivers will be eliminated in Q1, and then another 6 in Q2. The goal is still that awesome top 10 shootout, but the path to even get there just became so much more dangerous.
6. Yep, that is the new number that is going to be haunting pit walls. Think about it. By increasing the elimination count by just 1 driver per session, the danger zone itself expands by 20%. All of a sudden, there is just so much less room for error. A bad warm-up lap, getting caught in traffic, it could all be over.
But you're probably sitting there wondering, why? Why is this change even happening? Well, it's actually a pretty clever proactive solution to a problem that doesn't technically exist yet. But it's one the sport is fully expecting.
I mean, it's the obvious question, isn't it? The current system creates incredible drama, so why on earth would you change it? Well, the answer doesn't have to do with the current 20 cars on the grid, but with the very real possibility of having 22. And this really lays out the FIA's thinking perfectly. There's a high probability an 11th team will join the grid soon, which would expand it to 22 cars. Now, if they kept the old 5-out rule, Q3 would become a 12-car session. Can you just imagine 12 cars fighting for a clean lap at a track like Monaco? It would be a total traffic nightmare. So by moving to a 6-out system, F1 is making sure that no matter what, that final fight for pole position stays as elite 10-car showdown.
But here's the kicker. This isn't just about future-proofing for a 22-car grid. Oh no. Even with the current 20 cars, this new format is specifically designed to be what you could call a chaos engine. It's built from the ground up to intentionally ramp up the pressure on every single team, from the very front to the very back of the grid.
And that leads us right into the strategic fallout. These new rules don't just affect the drivers on the track. They create this whole cascade of tactical nightmares for the engineers sitting on the pit wall.
I absolutely love this phrase because it just perfectly captures the new reality. Those days of the top teams, you know, your Red Bulls or Ferraris, just kind of cruising through the first session on a harder, more durable set of tires, they're over. Gone. That comfortable safety buffer is completely gone. And that creates this massive ripple effect. The midfield teams, they're going to be smelling blood in the water. They'll immediately go for their fastest soft tires to make sure they avoid that huge 6-car drop zone. And this in turn forces the frontrunners to respond, burning through their own valuable soft tires way earlier than they'd ever want to. This can create something we're calling a tire deficit, and it means that one tiny mistake, one yellow flag at the wrong time, could literally see a world champion starting from 17th on the grid.
So let's just quickly define that term. A tire deficit. That's the disadvantage a driver has when they actually make it to Q3, but only after using up way more of their fresh soft tires just to survive the earlier rounds. So they might be in the top 10, but they show up to the final battle with less ammunition than their rivals, seriously compromising their shot at pole.
Okay, so after all that technical and strategic breakdown, what does this actually mean for the most important people, for us, the fans watching at home? Well, honestly, it's pretty much all good news.
Let's be honest, for years, Q1 has often been the most predictable part of qualifying. Not anymore. With a third of the grid potentially on the chopping block right from the get-go, the first 18 minutes of the session are now an absolute must-watch battlefield.
This new format just means every single second of the qualifying hour now matters. We are going to see more of those incredible giant killings, where a top driver gets knocked out early. We're going to see world champions forced to fight from the back of the grid on Sunday. And maybe most importantly, it ensures that the fastest drivers have to truly earn their spot at the front every single Saturday. No more cruise.
You know, when you really put this all together, it becomes crystal clear that the 2026 season is shaping up to be the biggest reset in modern Formula One history. I mean, we're getting entirely new cars, radical new engines, and now a much more cutthroat qualifying format to go along with it all.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Is this new 6-out rule a step too far? Is it a format that's just too harsh? Or is this dose of high-pressure chaos exactly what Formula One needs to spice up the entire race weekend? It's a question every single one of us fans will be